Hi everybody, my name is Rhys Barber. I'm the audiologist here at Audiology Associates. Thank you very much for watching our earwax removal video today. So we've got one patient in this video. We cleared out both ears for them. Now we've got the standard size ulnar tube in here first of all. You can see a slightly collapsed entrance to the ear canal, so very narrow part of the ear canal at the entrance here. Now when we come into contact with the wax, you'll notice that it's very sticky. Now these are one of the more difficult earwax removals to do, especially when you're using suction, because when you've got this kind of very sticky, soft type of earwax, I know we do food analogies, I'm sorry. So imagine the inside of a fig roll or a fig Newton if you're in the US. It's that kind of consistency in the middle. So it's kind of tacky, sticky, but very soft material. So what we're trying to do here is loosen this off the canal walls. Now, unfortunately, what's happened is it's stuck to every canal wall, so it's a really difficult one to maneuver, because if you've watched any of our videos before, you know that we like to try and get a grip on the wax and move it off the canal wall, so sort of unpeel it. The difficulty you have here is because the wax is such a soft substance, when you get a grip on it and you try to move it or try to peel it away, it just bends and flexes the wax in front of you, unfortunately. So I've introduced a little bit of olive oil in here just to see if it helps to loosen it and move it along a little bit. You can see it's just coating the base of the canal wall there. You've got a little bit of a sheen to the wax now, so the oil's actually touched the surface of the wax as well. But just very slowly working down here. Thank you to everyone who watched episode 400. It seemed to go down really well. The answer to your question, the little blue tube that you could see in that person's ear was something called a T-tube, which is similar to a grommet. So it's something you pop into an ear canal to aerate the middle ear space. Now I've done a short on this, which is going to come out on Tuesday. So keep an eye out for that one, because that explains about T-tubes in a little bit more detail if you want to know about that one. So we're just taking away some of these little bits here. Really just chipping away at this wax. So that the ideal way for doing this is just to drop the suction onto the soft wax here and just allow it to start taking this away and pulling it into the actual tube itself. You can see it's just so stuck. It's very difficult because when we are sort of locating where we are as far as depth in an ear canal is concerned, there are certain anatomical features that we look out for, which gives us a good indication as to how deep in the canal we are. When you've got this really soft sticky wax sticking completely to the canal walls, it's really difficult to orientate yourself within that ear canal, so you have to kind of clear away these canal walls. You're looking for the two natural bends in the ear canal, so you've always got to be a little bit more cautious when you're working along the outside edges as we are here, because the ear canal can make, in some cases, quite a severe bend in there, and you may end up just, imagine this is the canal that bends, as you're coming in with a suction tube, you might just chip against the side of it there. So you've got to be really careful with this and very gently tease this off the canal, as you can see we're doing here. Now you can see we've got this central section of wax here very deep in the canal. So we're just probing this, looking for any looser material here that's going to come away a little bit more easily. You can see we've just got a little bit of movement to the top of that wax. As we get a grip, you'll see the whole top section just folding forwards. So that's got a little bit more, it's a little bit more solid than the rest. So it's just teasing forwards. There we are, just broke a bit off. Now we can start to see the eardrum. So the very top of the wax, we're just getting our first glimpses of the eardrum here, which is a good gauge now, so we know exactly how far down we are. So it means we know we've got to be a little bit more cautious around the outside edges here. This deeper section of the canal closer to the eardrum becomes very sensitive. So you imagine obviously the ear, oh there we are, I've just took a nice big chunk away there. So the ear canal itself and the eardrum are both very sensitive, this little deeper section into the canal here. That's because the skin is paper thin and there's no sort of fatty tissue underneath it. So whereas the outer part of the ear canal, you've got the cartilage there, and you've also got this little bit of sort of fatty tissue, only very thin, but it's just enough to give a bit of give to the skin there. But when you're working much deeper, you're working against the skull. So basically the skull encloses this inner section of the ear canal here. So a very thin skin layer, if you press on that, there's no give underneath. So it is quite uncomfortable if you press against that canal wall. So you can see I'm probing it now, looking to try and draw, there we go, that bottom section out of the ear canal there. So a nice big chunk there, that deeper section, very, very dark in color, this deep brown bordering on kind of ebony in color. There we are, there's the eardrum. So you can actually see the little brown spots on the eardrum. Now that's where the wax was actually resting against the eardrum there. So that's a bit of discolored oil. That'll come away with next lot of baths and showers. So we were talking about this very delicate and very sensitive piece of skin here. Unfortunately, the patient's got a few little dry bits just sitting on top of that. So we're going to work as close as we can, but we don't want to cause this patient any discomfort. So we're just skimming the surface very, very gently. There we are. So we're taking that away. So the remainder, you see that little ring around the outside edge is just where the wax was sitting against the canal wall. So that'll come away with the next bath or shower for this patient. So we switch over now to the other ear, and you can see that we've got this very large plug of wax here. You can actually see it with the naked eye if you were looking at that ear canal. Unfortunately, very similar consistency to the other side, this kind of fig Newton, fig roll consistency. And we're getting a grip and lifting it, so just drawing it off the canal wall here. But it's so sticky that it's really bound quite tightly there. So we're going to pop, you can see we've popped a little bit of olive oil in here. We did manage to get some down on top. You can see it just blurring the outside edge of the camera there. We did manage to get some down on top of the wax. The olive oil will form a barrier between the wax and skin. So it just means that when you've got this really sticky natured wax, if you lift from the canal, if it does fold back, it won't stick. It'll sit on top of the oil. So it just means that you don't lose any groundwork you've done by lifting up and, you know, gently teasing the wax off, and it flicks back into place and sticks down where it shouldn't be. So we've got this much deeper section now. I'm just starting to wiggle this back and forth just to try and loosen it up a little bit. You can see what I'm doing. I'm kind of going left to right and then bringing down from the top, then left and right again. So the pulling down from the top is a forward motion, so we're bringing the wax towards us, and then the wiggle back and forth then is just maneuvering it down the canal, and then we'll bring it forwards again, disconnect it. So a lot of repeated movements here, but all with the same end goal. So you can see it's now starting to move that a little bit more freely. There we are. It's just breaking the end off. It's almost solid, but it's still a little bit softer on the outside edge. So as we're kind of pulling, it's drawing the front end off the wax all the time and detaching it. So I'm trying to aim a little bit further back, where chances are the wax is going to be a little bit harder. And you can see it's starting to fall end over end. Now, there we go. There's a little bit more loose movement there as we wiggle this back and forth. Oh, just broke that front end off. So let's see if we can get a good grip on this now. We have to kind of bring it forwards and turn it to this left-hand side here to get it around the bends in the ear canal. Very dark in color. There we go. As it comes away, you can see that plug there. Look at the color difference. This kind of slightly lighter brown at the top and it's almost black at the bottom. But it came away in one large piece. So the eardrum looking really healthy. Somebody asked if we could just hold on the eardrums a little bit longer. Very healthy looking eardrum there, good light reflex, hammer bone there looking lovely and healthy. So this is what we removed. The piece to the right hand side was the second piece, 3/8 of an inch there. It's probably about 1/8 of an inch, the other piece there as well. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, then please like, share and subscribe. We post new earwax removal videos every Monday, Wednesday and Friday on Facebook, YouTube and Instagram TV. I forgot what we posted then. So I shall see you again for the short, which is on on Tuesday, I'm sorry. And we're back in for our normal video on Monday. All the best guys, take care of yourself and have a great weekend.